Hey guys, Crypto Sunday, and it's a bit of a bombshell of a week, bit of a black swan, as you might call it. FTX news going bankrupt and all the sort of shenanigans of that. So, yeah, I've been sort of saying now, I thought something like this was coming for a little while. I didn't think it would be this, obviously. I thought it might just be a sell pressure, more of a sort of macro news downturn, but often it sort of takes something like this to really knock things down. So yes, I'm down £41,000 for the week, and yeah, let's have a look at some of the news that has caused it. So sort of going back to the beginning, there was a tweet from CZ from Binance sort of saying that he was selling his FTT token, which is FTX's sort of exchange token, and he held sort of over $500 million of it. So people sort of front run that and sold ahead of him, and it sort of all went down to very little. And then sort of FTX looked in quite a lot of trouble. There was sort of backlash between CZ and Sam Bankman-Fried, and yeah, then it sort of came out Binance was potentially looking to buy FTX, which was quite a big revelation. And then sort of after some due diligence, supposedly, CZ said they were backing out. And then FTX have sort of filed for bankruptcy. Bankruptcy protection in the US. He was sort of, Sam Bankman-Fried was saying FTX US was fine, and it was only part of FTX going bankrupt. And then, yeah, they filed sort of bankruptcy on all of them, and yeah, there's all manner of sort of shenanigans going on. Finding out about his past and the sort of links to his other company, Alameda Research. So yes, it's a hell of a black swan. It's an exchange that I've sort of promoted in the past. I would say I have always said sort of if you can bear the fees to get your coins off the exchange straight away and sort of keep it in your own storage. So yeah, I did hold a little bit of tokens on FTX and actually withdrew it sort of the day before all of this really kicked off. But really, if you're sort of just buying using the low fees and withdrawing to your own wallets, then hopefully you shouldn't have been affected. Because even then, yeah, it looks like probably not going to get those funds back. They got hacked, and sort of what little was left in the wallets, a lot less than what people sort of thought was in the wallets, but what little was left appears to have got hacked and a lot of it removed. So yeah, you can expect sort of next to nothing, I would have thought, if that ever gets resolved. But yeah, so that's not been sort of particularly good week, and everything has sort of dropped on that news. And you do even start to sort of see ripple effects that other people are obviously affected. Sort of a hedge fund reading about on the Financial Times says they have half of their capital still stuck on FTX. We'd kind of think, hedge funds and sort of larger institutions would want to sort of keep it in their own custody, but I guess it's a lot of money to hold on a wallet, on a memory stick maybe, or a ledger. But yeah, so there could be sort of potential other institutions that are hit by this and potentially sort of have to sell and cause more selling pressure, and yeah, it's not looking good. Also seen the Bitcoin exchange balance dropping a hell of a lot. So often sort of in bear markets you would see people piling onto exchanges to sell their coins, but with this sort of being an exchange-based black swan, you're seeing everybody sort of pull everything they can off exchanges. So last 7 days, since 65,000 Bitcoin come off Coinbase Pro, 52,000 off Binance, a little bit go on to Bitfinex, but 10,000 off Gemini, 14,000 off Kraken, and yeah, a load more come off Bybit. So 175,000 Bitcoin come off exchanges in the last 7 days. So people are taking the not your keys, not your crypto approach, which I think is good, to be honest. Aside from sort of maybe Ethereum being a little bit expensive on fees, Bitcoin can sort of be expensive, but seems to have sort of come down a fair bit. Most sort of coins will sort of cost £1 or less to move coins onto your own wallet. So I do always advocate, if you don't want a sort of £50 hardware wallet, at least get a software wallet and sort of take your own keys onto that wallet, assuming sort of a £1 fee to and from that wallet isn't going to sort of hurt your returns too much. I mean, if you're sort of not buying that much, then you maybe sort of just leave it on the most secure exchanges. But yeah, I think for the sake of £1 or £2 to get it back onto the exchange when you want to sell, that is worth it. So we have seen Solana hit more than most because of their links to FTX and Alameda Research, the sister company of Sam Bankman-Fried. They were early investors in Solana. There were plenty of other investors in there before FTX, but they put sort of a fair amount in. It does appear, from what I've read, that Alameda they've already sold quite a lot of their Solana, sort of in an attempt to try and prop up the FTT token, which didn't work. But yeah, you're also getting sort of large amounts of staked Solana sort of being unstaked. So 31 million over the weekend was unstaked, and presumably some of that is getting sold now, which is what is causing the drop, because it is still dropping even today. So yeah, that's sort of causing part of the drop. Does seem a real shame. I mean, they just had their event, sort of week-long hackathon, I think they call it, and yeah, sort of quite a lot of fairly bullish developments going on there. You saw this new sort of side validator, if you like, a validator that would run sort of in parallel and can sort of speed up the network, provide more scale, and sort of potentially avoid more outages in sort of the medium term. That's what they're saying. But also they were able to achieve, I believe, sort of 600,000 to 1.2 million transactions per second. So this would sort of boost their, I guess, play. They were originally talking about having sort of stock exchanges running on Solana. So yeah, not sure that's on the cards quite just yet, with this sort of bearish, terrible reputation now. But longer term, you could see it, and there doesn't seem to be that many other chains that are sort of anywhere close to that sort of TPS or transaction per second. I mean, other sort of chains are sort of still in the teens. Even Ethereum, you're sort of looking at 15 transactions per second, and yeah, Solana is sort of regularly at sort of 2,000-3,000 and has sort of got up to 4,000. But they're saying with this potential new validator and sort of parallel validator, they can be getting to 600,000, maybe even over 1 million. So nice news. The co-founder Anatoly is sort of pushing this as a reason that they're not going to get any more outages after sort of the end of this year. The Fire Dancer validator, as they call it, will verify Solana's state in parallel with the current validator software, and that's sort of giving it redundancy, if you like. So if sort of the main network goes down, it can run on this as well. So yeah, interesting. They sort of give you a little bit of detail on the on the website itself. Sort of had a little read of that. It's very technical, obviously, so not something that I was all that up on, but yeah, I'd sort of take a cautious see if this comes to pass, and would be good. They say coming soon, so yeah, that's been sort of a little bit of good news amongst a fairly bad week of news, especially for Solana. So just having a look at the coins themselves. So obviously they're all very, very red, but some more than others. So Bitcoin sort of down 25%, not all that bad really, considering it's a sort of major black swan. Ethereum down 28%, a little worse. Cardano 25%, same as Bitcoin. Solana, obviously the big hitter, 64% down on the week. So yeah, feel bad for anyone that has sort of got in that in parallel with me. XRP down 31%. Chainlink down 31% as well. Power Ledger not doing too well, 41% on the week. Kronos 48% down on the week, and there is some sort of rumours, obviously with them being a centralised exchange, that they're having sort of liquidity issues. I saw there was some sort of strange, they called it a mistake, sending sort of, it was $300 million of Ethereum to an exchange, sort of client funds, and they got it back. They called it a mistake, but yeah, they're saying that they're releasing their reserves and sort of having them audited. But I think it also did come out that they hold quite a large portion of their reserves in Shiba Inu token, which isn't particularly good. You would sort of hope the reserves are sort of largely in sort of Bitcoin and Ethereum and sort of US dollar stable coins, I would hope. But yeah, I guess if that's what people hold on the platform, then that's what they would have in reserves. It's not like sort of Tether reserves or USDC reserves, which should be in dollars or treasuries or that sort of thing. They should have the reserves of what is on the platform. So if people are using it to trade Shiba Inu, then good luck to them, and that's what they would have on the balance sheet. But yeah, so that's sort of taken a fair hit. I'm not keen on sort of withdrawing that. I'm sort of at risk of that platform sort of having it basically on there and staking. But yeah, I sort of think we're so close to the World Cup now. They're sponsoring the World Cup still, so could potentially see a bit of sort of bullish move from there. But it's not a huge holding now, sort of £1,200 in comparison to the whole portfolio, because it's dropped so much. And yeah, basic attention token down 34%, internet computer down 35%. Audius down 40%, being a sort of Solana based token. So yeah, pretty much everything has seen a drop. I do have £5,000 at the ready, waiting to buy. I thought I may have done it sort of yesterday, but with the sort of Solana unstaking news, I thought I would just wait and see if anything came of that. And yeah, it would have been a worse buy to buy yesterday. We've seen more of a drop today. So yeah, maybe sort of in the next day or two, I might just bite the bullet anyway, except that it could go a bit lower. I do have some of the cash in the stock account, which I could potentially put in if we sort of get a major drop. So maybe spend the 5,000 tomorrow, and then sort of spend a little bit more if we get a major drop, and it doesn't look like it's going to affect the ecosystem. It's just a price drop. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let me know sort of how you're bearing up, and if you're sort of looking to buy the dip or buy the crash, if you like. It's not really a dip. But yeah, and like and subscribe. See you soon.